Hello Cancer Rising. It has been a while since I have done a video, but I am back and it is Gemini season. And there is a lot of Gemini energy going on. Not just the sun, but there's a few other planets that are also residing in Gemini. And for you, Cancer Rising, that is your 12th house. The 12th house is the house of solitude, of secrecy, of privacy, of sacrifice. This is the house of self-destruction. Not necessarily in a bad way, it can be in a good way, but just this is also the house where we find addictions and enemies, hidden secrets, things that could be harming us. So, that being said, with the sun in Gemini, this happens every year from May 20th to June 20th. The sun highlights, lights up, puts the spotlight on your 12th house. You are finding at the moment a lot of joy and success in solitude and in introspection. This is a time for you to grow in private. This is a time for you to have a lot of time and inner thoughts, introspective thoughts about who you are, and really taking the time to think through and make choices based on what will be harmonious to your true self, what is aligning to your true self. So Cancer Rising, just a couple of days after the sun moved into Gemini, so did Venus. Venus followed on May 24th, and Venus will be there till about mid-June. Now, while Venus is in Gemini, in your 12th house, it is really opening up your love, your ability to love. It's opening up your ability to make choices, and it's helping you to be a bit more versatile, a bit more adaptable. Now, the energy of the 12th house is about sacrifice, about self-sacrifice. It's about giving up some of your mundane, tedious tasks to provide yourself space to be introspective and to give your soul space to breathe outside of the mundane body, outside of your flesh. So with Venus moving into Gemini, this is a time when you are learning to harmonize with your need to be alone, with your need to be in solitude. This is also a time when you are exploring yourself on an intimate level alone. Now, I don't want to get too into what that might be for you, but if this is something that you've never done before, if you've never explored your own body, if you've never explored your own intimacy, I just happened to be watching an episode of 6 Feet Under, that 2000s era show. And one of the characters admitted that she was 52 years old before she'd ever masturbated before, and that's sad. So this is a time, if this is something that you need to work on, this is a time to become intimate with yourself and to learn how to love your own body and how to pleasure yourself. So that's the energy that's happening a lot for you at the moment, Cancer, with Venus in Gemini. Now, a few days after Venus moved into Gemini, Jupiter also followed. Now, unlike the Sun and Venus, which will be moving on into Cancer in the middle of June, Jupiter is a slower moving planet. So Jupiter will be in Gemini in your 12th house for at least another year. It will be there until June of 2025. So for a whole year, you're going to be feeling this Jupiter energy in your 12th house. Well, Jupiter represents expansion and growth. So you will be feeling that joy, that vitality, that success, growth, and expansive nature in your solitude and in your introspection. So perhaps you are finding more ways to be alone, to have that solitude, to have that time by yourself where you are really diving deep into who you are, into who your soul is, without all of the baggage that comes along with the mundane life. Now, with Jupiter in Gemini in your 12th house, this is expanding your ability to make choices that harmonize with your private world, with what you want in private, with how you feel comfortable alone without having to have anyone else there to validate you or to provide safety and security for you. This is a moment when you have to be on your own. So spiritual expansion and spiritual growth can come out of this hidden learning or hidden exploration. These are things that you are doing in private. This is a time for you to just be private and work out what it is that you do in the mundane world that can be maybe sacrificed in order to provide you some soul or spiritual happiness. Now, on June 3rd, just a couple of days ago, Mercury moved into Gemini. Now, Mercury rules Gemini, so this is a bit of a double dose of Mercury energy. So now we have the Sun, Venus, Jupiter, and now Mercury all in Gemini, all in your 12th house. Now, Mercury is a very lively energy. It's very versatile. So it's bringing that liveliness and that versatility to communication. Mercury rules communication regarding your self-sacrifice, regarding your solitude or your privacy or your intimate person seeking of yourself, looking into yourself intimately and finding who you are. So that solitude is going to harmonize with your intellect. You are thinking a lot about this. This is not just an emotional experience, this is an intellectual experience as well. Now, lastly, Cancer rising, on June 6th, which is today, the day that I'm filming this, we have a new moon in Gemini. So along with the Sun, Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury, the moon also joins this party. Now, it is a new moon, which means that this is a time for renewal, for refreshment, for starting again, starting something new. So on June 6th, during this new moon, this is a really good time for you to go deep towards this discovery of self, of who you are on a deep level. This is a time to navigate these emotional depths that are going to help you to forge new connections in the future. But for right now, you have to learn who you are on a deep, personal, intimate level. And this is a really good time to embrace new beginnings, embrace new starts in your daily life and in your practice that honor who you are in solitude and who you need to be to show up as your soul or your spirit self. So Cancer rising, it's a very spiritual time for you. This is a time for you to just really go inside and learn who you are and be who you are, because the next season is Cancer season, and we're going to be moving into your appearance and your identity and showing up in the world as your authentic self. So before Cancer season, you want to let go of any of the baggage that you're carrying from the mundane world, and that can be let go of through spiritual introspection. Okay, Cancer rising, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next month for Cancer season. Bye.